What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some more Idle Heroes. If you guys liked the video, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button and show your support. If you like the channel, make sure to subscribe as well. Definitely helps me out. Alright, with that being said, big update, right? Big update yesterday, tons of new events and a new hero. So we're going to quickly brush through the events, not going to go super in-depth on them or anything. And then we're going to talk about the new hero, where it fits, is it good, you know, what's up, right? That's right. So first up, there is a summoning event, which is a little weird. There was one just like 2 weeks back, so a lot of people were upset about having a summon event back-to-back like this. It's kind of like a money grab. Yeah, kind of. All right, you don't have to do it, but it is the only way to get the new hero as of right now. Of course, after the event goes away, you can probably get it with a profit tree and stuff like normal, so whatever. But anyways, as you can see, tons and tons and tons of crapo. 10-star replacement, that kind of comes in with the summon event, so if you can't do that, then you can't do that, whatever. But this is new. The Monster Nian Invasion. Obviously, rewards. It's always great. It is a respawning boss. Every time you kill it, a new one will spawn. Every time you beat it, you're guaranteed to get the gems, the gold, and then one of the random 3 after that. So either a profit orb 25% of the time, 25-star hero shards 40% of the time, and 2 skin shards 35% of the time. All right. To damage the boss, you've got rockets. Over here, the fireworks, they do 10% of its health, and the fireworks, which do 1% of the health. Okay, so obviously, the firecrackers, where the firecrackers do 1%, fireworks do 10%, so obviously 10 firecrackers, same as 1 firework. Boom. Simple and done. Value packs, if you're on the official servers, you want to spend some money, there's a way that you can pick up all these things for some of the extra lanterns and chocolates. We'll get into those in a second. On the private server, you ain't got to worry about this. There is no purchases, and that's always good. So, the shelter mission. Now, there is some things, I've heard some people complain about bugs and stuff in the shelter mission. I don't know if they're actually bugs, or if they're just labeled incorrectly. Alright, so as you can see, this Mirage node here, in the rewards, there is no Mirage even listed. Okay? It's just to get the 50 lanterns and the 2 pieces of orange gear. There's no Mirage listed as a reward. People are saying, I didn't get my Mirage. To be honest, I don't know if you were supposed to get one. If you were, I figured it would be there in the reward section. So, one of those things. Look before you buy, right? Make sure you know what the rewards are going to be. I still think it's probably worth it because these right here are very, very useful. Okay, the Margaret, same thing. There is no Margaret listed as a reward, even though it shows a picture of Margaret. Why? Not 100% sure. The Dark and Light heroes, they actually do show up, but as you can see, it takes 2 5-star Dark heroes now, along with 3,000 gems. In my opinion, a little bit excessive, so I won't be doing those. Seems kind of like a waste. The Gru actually does give you a Gru, as you can see here, with the hearts as well, and Karma is supposed to give you Karma with the lanterns as well. The last one over here is Michelle. Same thing as the Amuvor, or whatever his name is. It's going to take 2 light 5-star heroes and 3,000 gems. Still a very expensive down payment for a single Michelle. But of course, if you've got a 9-star Michelle and you only need 1 more copy to get a 10-star, maybe worth doing. For me, nah. Alright, so those are the shelter missions out of the way. As you see, a lot of this stuff is revolving around the sweetheart, the little chocolates and the lanterns. Here is the fortune card if you're, again, on official servers. This is something you can buy for $10. It's not a bad deal. 88,000 gold times your player level in gold each day for 7 days, and 8 gems times your level each day. So, obviously, a level 100, 800 gems a day. Not bad. Not bad at all. Super chips is your VIP level times 1. So, if you're a VIP 3, you get 3 chips each day. Not a bad deal if you want to spend. It's kind of like a really powerfully monthly card, but it's only for a week. Not a bad thing to pick up. Definitely helps you out. So down here is where the items get a little, you know, those chocolates and stuff come into play. The chocolates, in official servers, it kind of blows, I'm not going to lie. You've got to unlock everything in tiers, so you got to get this, then this, then this. And what that obviously does is it locks everything that's good in the event only for spending players, and not just spending players, heavily spending players. Free-to-play players, you're not going to get very far into this in official servers. In the private server, all of these are actually unlocked at the start, so you can pick up anything on the first go. It's not just the first one. You can go all the way down here with your very first purchase and pick up this new Assassin's gear, which is pretty fantastic, I'm not going to lie. All right? We'll talk about it for a second because it is new. There is a couple good things here. The magic source, fantastic artifacts, can give you a skill in the very first round when it's maxed out, which is great. Definitely want to pick that up. 30 profit orbs isn't bad either. for 100 chocolates. 30 profit orbs, pretty expensive. So that's a pretty good pickup, but I would say first thing you'd probably get is this, and then the second thing would be the Assassin's Armor. It's 5-star gear, so it has a huge amount of attack buff on it, plus it comes with a passive second skill, a 7% attack, and if you put it on an assassin hero, it gets even stronger with more attack, crit damage, and over here, more attack and crit. So you get like 28% of attack boost on assassin's heroes using this. Pretty insane. Moving down, you've got the lanterns. Again, they go in order on official, which is a huge waste getting this thing 88 just for an avatar. Kind of meh at best. But anyways, on the private server, which is 10 times better, you can go whatever order you want to, and I would say the best things to buy in this are obviously the last two things here. This thing right here is an absolutely freakish artifact. I believe it's 15% crit and 50% crit damage when maxed, with like 27% attack. A freakish artifact will really boost the crap out of your team. Put it on a Vesa, going to be amazing. Put it on anything, it's going to be amazing. Then obviously the Assassin's gear here. This is going to be the HP portion, the shoes and the chest, with 7% HP as a passive right down here. And also if put on Assassin, you gain an extra 6% HP, 10% armor break, and 6% HP and 20 speed. So that's another 28% HP buff, plus the massive amount of HP you get already on the armor. Pretty fantastic. If you're running an assassin like Walter or even the new hero, which we'll talk about in a second, that's an amazing set of gear. Even if you don't put it on assassin, it's still amazing gear. All right, even not on an assassin, this is still very powerful. So anyways, moving down, that was summon prize. Not really talking about that. Summon package. Obviously, the two new heroes here with the higher chance to be summoned is the Heart Watcher and Malassa. So we're gonna go ahead, jump in, and talk about the Heart Watcher for a moment, because she's new, and what do you do with new heroes? You talk about them. So I'm going to go ahead and say straight up, this chick right here is an absolute monster in PvE. Just stupid. Absolutely stupid amount of damage. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about her, and then you'll see. All right? So the stats, just kind of straightforward. You can look at those, see them. She's really, really quick. Not the fastest hero in the game, but she's up there. Anyways, the first thing here, the active skill deals 250% of her attack as damage against 2 random enemies, reduces their attack by 25% for 2 rounds, and tags them with a Watcher mark. Cannot be dodged. The Watcher mark increases the target's taken damage by 45%. That's powerful. Watcher's mark effects can overlay, so you can stack Watcher's marks up to 300% increased damage. That right there should tell you everything you need to know. Marauders will get devastated by this. Making it where your team is doing 300% normal damage on every attack is ridiculous. That's just crazy amounts of damage. Your damage numbers will probably double if you put her in your team. Insane. Absolutely insane. Moving over, the first passive here increases attack by 30%, crit by 30%, and HP by 20%. So that's pretty solid for an assassin. Attack and crit is great, plus some HP, not bad. Moving over, life regain. Critical Strike has a 100% chance to heal self for 280% of attack as HP. That's very powerful for a couple of reasons. Mainly, as an assassin, she gets crit naturally in her tree, so you can pump that up. Plus, she has a natural crit here of 30%. Pair that with a crit stone and a crit artifact, and you can have this chick pretty much critting almost every attack and healing massive amounts every attack. When you do that, this makes her also good in the Aspen dungeon, theoretically. All right, I don't have one to test in the Aspen, but I'm going to go ahead and assume if you boost this thing into a crit monster, it's obviously going to be healing almost every round it attacks for quite a bit of HP. I mean, almost 300% of its attack is HP. That's nothing to, sniff at. That's pretty good. So, not to mention it's stacking extra damage on the people it's attacking, so it's going to kill them quicker and quicker and quicker. Not bad. Last thing here, the Weakness Strike. This is a passive skill. The basic attack now targets 2 random enemies, dealing 110% of attack as damage, and tags the targets with a Watcher mark. The Watcher mark's effects can overlay, as you learned from earlier, cannot be dodged, so her attacks cannot be dodged. Mickey, not even a threat to this, can easily hit a Mickey, stuff like that. Watcher mark increases target's damage taken by 35%. So if her first attack is this, that's 35% increased damage to those 2 random enemies, and then when she pops this again, if she hits those same 2 enemies, you're talking about another 45% on top. That's 80% increased damage taken, which is higher than Cruce's active skill. which increases damage taken by 50%. They're kind of similar heroes in that regard. They weaken enemies. Cruz does hit 4 with his active skill, where she only hits 2. But like I said, on bosses, like, you know, the event raids or whatever they are, what are they called? Broken Spaces, there you go. Broken Spaces, she's going to increase your damage by an absolute butt ton. Marauders, same thing. Guild bosses, she's going to increase your damage by a lot. A lot. So amazing in PvE. In PvP, I think it remains to be seen. I'm still going to go ahead and say, from my own brain place here, I think Cruz is better in PvP than she's going to be, because she has no crowd control. Straight up, that's kind of the thing. She has no ability to crowd control, whereas Cruz can crowd control the entire enemy team. And while his active skill kind of already does what she does, just a little less powerful. Okay? Is she bad in PvP? I would say no. A very high crit build means she's going to keep herself alive just with basic attacks and stuff like that. Not to mention, she will be boosting the damage your entire team can do. So she does stay alive for a while. Obviously, that's going to help her stay alive there, critting. I don't think she's going to be bad in PvP at all. I just feel like in the forest slots, you know, Vessa's kind of a shoe-in, and Demon Hunter's almost a guaranteed in a forest team because that great crowd control. Could you run her as your third? Absolutely. Would she be better damage increase for your team than Rosa? Arguable. I don't know. I'd have to test the two of them. I don't have that right now. I don't have the ability to do that. But Rose is going to be an AoE debuff to the entire team and a buff for your team, whereas she's going to really heavily debuff 2 enemies at a time on attack, and then her skill and attack and a skill. So, I don't know. It'd be a toss-up. I'd say she could work in PvP pretty well, but I wouldn't say that she's god-tier PvP without having actually used her in it. But either way, like I said, PvE doesn't matter. She is one of the best heroes in the game in PvE, no doubt about it at all. She will probably double your damage output against Marauders just by having her in your team. Amazing. Alright, so with that being said, there is your new hero. Should you get one? I would say abso-freaking-lutely. If you don't have the heroic summons, like I don't right now, there was one just a couple of weeks ago, as you can see. I've only got 41 built back up. There's no point in wasting them in this event at all, really. So I'm not going to use mine. I'm just going to save them up for the next heroic summon event. Not a big deal. She will pop up in the profit tree eventually, and you can get her out of there. But is she a great hero? Absolutely. Is she god tier in PvE? Absolutely god tier. There is very few heroes that could even kind of counter her amazingness in PvE. In PvP, kind of remains to be seen. I do think she will fit well in certain teams. Mainly if you focus your assassin tech, she'll be even better, of course, with that high crit. But there you go, guys. That's the new event kind of laid out, the new analysis of the hero. I think it's an amazing hero. I definitely want one. But there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button and show your support. If you're liking the channel, make sure to subscribe as well. Tell your friends about it. It definitely helps me out. And I will see you guys in the next one.